Black Sunday. I want to know, what do you value? What are your core values? Go ahead, get a piece of paper, and start writing down your list. Keep it short, just a handful, really just a handful of your most core values. You are likely to have many values and many sub-values under each thing, and that's fine. But I want you to think of just a handful, 3, 5, 7, keep it small, of the things that really drive you, the things that really are what you base your decisions on, the things that you basically determine are the most important things in life to you. And the reason I say this is because if you don't understand what your values are, if you can't identify them, if you cannot make them tangible, then how can you set goals? How can you decide this is what I want? Now, granted, our primal systems are wired to think in feelings and impressions and sensations and pictures. We're not really developed for words very well. Words came along later as the need for complexity increased. And that's fine. Words are good, but you have to understand that a lot of this stuff is internal, and when things are internalized like that and not listed in words, not defined, we tend to let them stay as impressions, and without identifying them, it makes it difficult to really streamline our decision-making process. And of course, most of us suffer from a lack of efficiency. So, kittens, away from the tripod. So this is an important concept. Make a list. This is your base list. This is the very thing that you should be able to define, identify, enumerate, whatever. And really let it sink in. So while this is entirely for you, please feel free to share. I'm not going to try to help you change your values or anything. These are internal personal decisions for you. I'm just curious as to what your values are. Now, at the risk of tainting the pool, because I certainly don't want you to just copy me, I want you to think for yourself and develop your own value system and to think about the things that are really, truly important to you. I will tell you my top 3. First one I didn't have to think about. The other 2 I didn't really have to think about. I just had to think about the order of importance. Number 1, though, is freedom. Liberty is of utmost importance to me. And that is why it is so frustrating and oppressive to be stuck in a place where there is heavy governmental influence around people who are stuck in the dogmas of whatever philosophies or religions they choose, to be stuck in a work environment where I'm working for somebody else. These are all things that are fundamentally intolerable to me, but we put up with because there's a gun to our head, there's bills to be paid, whatever. And it's frustrating, and these are things that we have to learn how to overcome and make better decisions about. I've considered my working life to be penance for the last 10 years of making decisions that could have gone better, that I could have taken more of a risk on or whatever. And so I'm stuck inside of systems that do not allow me to have the freedom that I desire, but I'm working to get out of. Now the next, you would think, because I'm discussing martial arts and fitness with you guys, you would think that it would be something along those lines, but I tell you, actually the next thing is intelligence and the accumulation of knowledge. And when I was talking to my wife about this, she asked me, do you really mean knowledge or do you mean intelligence? Because I said just intelligence, and I said, well, you can have lots of knowledge without intelligence, but you can't have intelligence without knowledge. Intelligence requires some kind of basic knowledge to make decisions, to problem solve and whatnot. But the two are fundamentally separate at some level, so I have to include the accumulation of knowledge in there because the accumulation of knowledge will enhance the application of intelligence. And of course, the final application of intelligence is wisdom. which is implicit in my mind on my values list, but for some people may not be so implicit. But without the brain power, without the ability to interpret data, without the ability to learn and understand, none of the rest of anything seems to make any sense. We might as well just be apes doing whatever we want. And then finally, we develop these big brains, we develop this ability to accumulate knowledge for manipulation, for moving about in our environment, for complex movement. And so the final thing is health and fitness, and really high performance and longevity. These are important to me. One, we are living beings, and life apparently just wants to keep on living. That's why we have children. It replicates our DNA. We do everything we can to survive because life enjoys living and wants to keep on living. And we have no greater mechanical purpose than simply continuing to live. Perhaps it's circular, perhaps that doesn't allow for much meaning, but understand that kind of addicted to living, and I want to keep doing it. You know, one of my goals is to live to 200, and why? It's because I am alive and I like to keep living. And so understand that when I say health and fitness, what I'm really saying is an efficient, high-performance vessel to continue this living thing. And that means my internal systems are running at an optimal level, which means that I have to take care of my nutrition. I have to make sure that I am managing my stress well. It also means applying my body in such a way that I can apply measured stress and learn and grow and adapt to that, which is the high performance stuff. And we've talked about this before. Life is full of chaos. Violence is included in chaos. This means chaos management, and chaos management must include not only being able to labor, not only being able to overcome obstacles and escape, but also to fight when necessary. And it's really the survival game. And so you have this health and fitness thing, which to me includes martial arts, it includes fitness, it includes nutrition. You know, this is all important, and then all of that is there to support the brain function, which goes to the step before it, which is the intelligence, the knowledge, the wisdom, which then those things, when you are high performance, when you are intelligent, the most intolerable thing in the world is to have that being oppressed or managed by somebody else, and thus freedom. These are my top 3 values, and like I said, you may yourself decide that these are even more multiple categories or subcategories in and of themselves, and that's fine. That's for you to decide for your own list. But understand that without understanding that about myself, the rest of my decisions will be haphazard and simply based on feeling and impression, and because of that imprecision, they will be, I won't say doomed to failure, but they will be much more sporadic in results, much more difficult to attain, because it is difficult to attain things that you cannot measure or observe. So there you have it. For me, my value system, primary values: freedom, intelligence and knowledge, and wisdom, health and fitness, high performance and longevity. That is my core value system. Are there other things I value? Absolutely. I value my tribe, my friends, my family, for sure. But without the rest of that, that means nothing. I would never want to be a burden on my family, on my friends. I value love and peace. Who doesn't? It's nice to have a calm, stress-free life. But without those other things, how can I possibly contribute to that calm and stress-free life? These are important things to know about yourself. To me, these 3 core values branch out into absolutely everything else. That's my way of thinking. Perhaps you like a more defined list, something more bullet pointed and subdefined. But understand that you need to be able to identify and make tangible your values, because by doing so, you will be able to progress on to understanding what your mission in life is, what your goals are, how to structure every moment of every day to optimize making decisions for the best that you can be and for the best impact that you can have on this world. So that's all I've got for you. I just want you to think about your values, because none of it else makes any difference without your values. Talk to you guys later. Good journey.